Good day, everyone. My name is Jewel, and this is J7409 weather for today, Sunday, the 5th day of January, 2020. Lots of stuff going on, folks. We've got multiple periods of precipitation that are forecast looking like coming for the Northwest. Light to moderate snow is expected for the Great Lakes and interior Northeast. And most of the continental U.S. will have around or above average temperatures over the next couple of days, except for Florida. You're going to be on the chilly side. A lot of you guys are waking up to much cooler temperatures this morning. They are going to last for a few days. I'll have all this and more coming up. Don't go anywhere. Looking at the watches and warnings map right quick. Everything's looking pretty good except a couple of places. Now up here from north-south Dakota right on down into Nebraska, moving up into Iowa, parts of Wisconsin, and the entire state of Minnesota. Wind, going to be so very windy. These warnings will last throughout the day for the most part. Up in the Minnesota where you see the brown, not the goldish, these winds could gust up to 45 or 50 miles per hour. Where you see the gold, they could gust up to 65 miles per hour. You folks need to be aware if you're traveling, the wind is going to be a real mess for you guys in these areas. Now, when we come down to the lower portions of Missouri through central Kentucky, lower Indiana, and Illinois, this is something that could occur during the middle of the week. Now, it's looking like we're going to have a pressure system come up from this way, and then it's going to stall over these areas right in here where you see this green. That's what it's looking like now. What is that going to do? That is going to cause flooding. So be aware of what's going on. Of course, out in the Northwest, we do have some snow going on in Washington State with some advisories going on all the way down into parts of the higher elevations of Oregon. You need to be aware of that in your travels. And Florida, what you got going on here? I know when I woke up this morning, I looked out my door and wow, everything had blown around. I had no idea I would get as much wind as I did with this system pushing through, finally going off. But I had tremendous wind last night, and you guys, it's going to be breezy for you in portions today, but the temperatures are going to be the big deal. I checked on some areas. Let's just take St. Lucie, Florida, for example. You're going to be in the mid to maybe 68 degrees for a high today. You go over Midway, right smack dab in the middle of the state, in Sebring, you're going to be in the low 60s. You're going to hit probably 62 or 63. Tonight, you're going to be in the 30s. Miami, you're going to be about 68 degrees also today. A little bit warmer over in Tampa. You guys may hit 70, you may not. So, yes, this may last for a day or so. Everyone in the Florida area, it's going to get much cooler for you. Might be a little break. So, you need to be aware of this and what's going on around you. Now, this is the NAM map. Of course, it goes through the next few days. It's not very long range. It's more or less for the next 2 to 3 days of what's going on. That's exactly what it is, as a matter of fact. We see a little bit of snow. This is light snow going on now. In Maine, they've got some light snow going on. Very light snow. It's going to look like at times it's going to be a lot worse than I think it actually is. I think temperatures up in the areas right around, say, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Boston, moving right on up into Maine. Maine should probably get more snow than anybody else. I think you may take, for example, South China, Maine. I think you may get 3 inches of snow as the next few days pass through. So, this map, of course, is courtesy of Tropical Tidbits. I'm going to turn it on, just let it roll, and tell you what everything is looking like. This active weather pattern is going to continue for the northwestern U.S., with a cold front moving through today and then a warm front approaching tomorrow. That's really going to mix it up. Now, this will lead to rounds of precipitation there, with locally heavy rainfall and localized flooding possible in the lower elevations around the Pacific Northwest by the end of tomorrow. Now, then in the higher elevations of the Cascades and the Rockies, like I showed you a while ago, that's where the snowfall could be measured in multiple feet. You guys could really get the snow, but that is in the higher elevations of the Cascades and Rockies. Now, a low pressure system is going to move across the Great Lakes region over the next couple of days, so snow is likely to spread across the Great Lakes and the interior Northeast. Now, snowfall of 3 to 6 inches looks like is possible, with locally higher amounts. Now, on the backside of this frontal system, high winds are expected over parts of the northern and central plains into the upper Mississippi Valley. As I have showed you, those high wind warnings and advisories are already in place. They should last through today. Another windy area is expected to be the Piedmont east of southern and central Appalachians, as well as southern California. Now, as I've said, most of the continental U.S. is going to have around or above average temperatures over the next couple of days, except for Florida. You're going to be cooler than average. Your temperature should remain near or less 70 degrees. Now, I've looked up some things, seeing what it's looking like. A lot of these are in the mid to upper 60s. You may hit 70. And then when we get to the Central Rockies, you could be several degrees below average by tomorrow. Now, I want to stop this just a moment, and I'm just going to click through right quick. As we see the snow coming through from Monday, you can see in these areas here, looking like a little snow in Long Island, maybe Connecticut. I think your temperatures, though, are going to be just warm enough. You're going to get a lot of slush. I don't think there'll be a whole lot of snow to accumulate, okay? I think the temperatures are going to stay just warm enough, but when you get up into parts of northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and then Maine. Now, like I said, South China isn't in the northern sections. You guys may get 3 inches. You may not. A little bit of freezing rain going on as this system I'm talking about is going to stall out and probably bring a bad flooding situation down in this area. From maybe midweek is coming up here. As you can see, it starts on Tuesday. Then the snow progresses up into West Virginia, moves on up. You can see all this rain coming down in here, looking like rain for southern New Jersey, snow for northern New Jersey. I still don't think right now, it may change, but I don't think the air is going to be quite cool enough for a lot of precipitation in the form of snow. I'm not saying you won't get any. I think you will, but I think you're going to get a lot of rain mixed in with it. Just going to be a very slushy mess. Now, as this moves on up, of course, I've looked up and checked on for all my friends in Massachusetts and the Boston area as well. I think you might get a half an inch, but it's going to be a lot of rain in it. You may not even get that much. It may be just slush also. So that's a check of your weather. Be safe, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, then check off all. Thanks for everything you do for me. I love each and every one of you. Have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. And don't forget to share this information with your family and friends and on your social media. I would greatly appreciate it. Peace, love, and kindness to each of you. Thanks so much for watching.